Hello, welcome, and many blessings to you. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'd like to discuss honoring triggers in order for them to clear. We have to really be with them, honor them, and allow them to clear. And a part of that is when a feeling arises, really being with that feeling so that you can fully experience it and honor in whatever it is that it's communicating to you. And this recently has been inspired by a meditation I did where I laid in Savasana. Savasana is in a surrendering pose in yoga, to allow for the feelings to come to surface and to be able to feel them. So this is like when we're triggered by certain things. Normally it's pointing to a certain pattern or a certain thing that needs to clear is no longer, resonating and your vibration is rising and it's ready to come out and clear. So I know a lot of us are experiencing that as we're expanding our consciousness. We are being, in our work situations, in our romantic situations, in our, families or whatever it be, it is bringing up triggers, which is a good thing. A lot of times like, oh, this person just triggers me, I'll have to get away. So the first part is identifying the resistance. And in resistance, when you're resisting, you actually get more of that in. So you're resisting the trigger, you get more triggers. You resist the feeling, you get more feelings. And then that pattern keeps going and going and going and replaying itself out in a multitude of ways. So you may find in certain relationships end up being the same way, same pattern. Certain work environments end up being the same way, the same pattern. You're reliving this emotion, or reliving the trigger. Now, in this meditation that I practice is I allowed the feeling to come up and I notice the things that occur when the feeling comes up. First thing is wanting to run away from it. Second is wanting to change it. So, I'm funny. So I was like, oh, I can go in here and I can use visualization projection and I completely can change this experience that never happened and my cells will not remember it and it will be completely vanished and gone. Well, not really. So that's not true acceptance. So instead with it, I sat with it. Sounds funny. Instead, I sat with it, or in this case, I was laying in Savasana, so I laid with it and allowed it to come. And so you go back, let's say, you ask your body to reveal, or your spirit to reveal, a certain memory that has caused trigger or patterns. And to allow that to come up and to relive the experience by truly, authentically feeling the experience. So there was a time when I was younger when my brother had punched me several times in a hallway. My sister was trying to get my brother off of me. And I think he was upset because I was like really happy and hyper, and he was very angry in that state, and those two just wasn't going together. So all I wanted was to play with my brother, and I guess my brother wanted me to go away from him, so he just was very frustrated with me. So there I am getting punched and hit, and my dad's sitting there just watching TV doing, absolutely nothing to stop this, and my sister's trying her best, and my mom's downstairs working. Okay, so there's all this dynamic. So I went back into this memory. This is what, when I asked Spirit, this is what came up. So I'm there, I'm in the hallway, and I'm feeling the feelings of being hit again. Feeling that scared little girl, because I was very, very young. The scared little girl going, why me? Why me? I just love you. Why me? And then also feeling like, why is my dad not protecting me? And then why does my sister have to go through this stress too? And then, my mom, it's not her fault because she's downstairs, she didn't even know what's going on. And all these different feelings came up in this meditation, and I'm letting myself experience it. I'm experiencing the pain, I'm experiencing how that felt. Okay, so then once that's come up to surface and you felt these feelings, coming in as like, let's say, higher perspective or the healer. So coming in and going, my brother was having something that he didn't know how to deal with. So he didn't intentionally, but somehow it ended up taking it out on me. So having compassion for what emotion he was experiencing, having compassion for my sister, for her having to try to protect and feeling overwhelmed, having compassion for my father who might have been too afraid or not wanting to get involved or not knowing what to do, and having compassion that maybe he was, you know, frozen in fear versus like not caring. And then also having the compassion to be like, sweet little girl, it's okay that you felt scared, but you are safe now. You are safe. And so, you know, addressing that, like really, really addressing that and practicing forgiveness and understanding. And then after you actually sit with the feeling, then you can bring in, you know, the healing light energy. So basically what happened was like this vision sort of took over where all of us rose up above those bedrooms. Like literally we were in the air outside, you know, rising up past the circumstance, and we're all in this circle, and each one of us is in a separate chair in their safe space, beaming in light, protected, in their true self, in their true feelings, and in love, in being in love. And then I noticed, you know, my brother had his chair, my sister had her chair, my mom had her chair, my dad had his chair, I had my chair, and then my husband shows up and has his chair, my son shows up and has his chair, and then I noticed my extended family showed up, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law, and we all were in this huge circle just floating above these bedrooms outside in the yard, near the water, because we grew up on the river. And we're all in safe space, and we're connecting in light and love. This is the present moment now. We're all connected in light and love. That past experience no longer exists, but many patterns have been triggered. I had to end up in certain relationships that just didn't resonate, or they would bring up the same pain pattern, the same pain pattern, the same pain pattern, the same pain pattern, over and over and over and over again. So I sat with that for like several years and let that stuff be released and debonded and all this stuff, and cut cords and all these different things. However, never actually got to the root of the trigger, which is where it really actually has its most potency to be healed. And so going to that root, then there's a process after that. So you feel like, whoa, I just had this amazing, uplifting experience. We're all beaming in light together, all is well. Then there's a process where that's in the energy field, that's healed. Then it has to come through and get embodied into the body, into the mind, into the, you know, into the physical realm. So in a clearing that can come up, there may be some leftovers afterwards, and that's okay. That's where you honor it. It's been deep-rooted, it's been healed. If debris come up, you say, it's okay, all is well, all is healed. And you keep honoring, it's okay that you feel a little bit of this, or, you know, I started feeling like, oh my goodness, all these moments that I've missed really appreciating because I was caught up in this pattern of pain. Well, the thing is, no, it's good. That actually happened for a reason. And then I became really grateful that those things happened to me, which is a real place of true forgiveness and a true place of honoring your experiences and not demeanoring them as it's bad or good, but honoring them. They taught me so much, and I say thank you, experiences, for teaching me, because in my pain it transformed into compassion. It transformed into a beautiful, like, ability to care what people are going through when they're in pain, you know what I mean, a true compassion. So, and in that case, which led me on a path to becoming more and more into the healing arts and healing, anything healing. And so, you know, sometimes as healers we'll have these experiences early in our life to awaken us to our calling. So when we honor these triggers, we are honoring our path purpose. So I'm not saying go and, like, you know, go crazy on it or something, like let the emotion take you out of control and take you into a place that's creating another, you know, pattern. No, I'm saying actually let it come up, and in a meditation, like in stillness, You can sit or lay with it, in that case, Sebastian's laying, and really, really, really feel it. That means taking out the reaction and experiencing the feeling. Because a lot of times we react, this happened to me, this was scary, this, you know, this is terrible. These are all like our mind putting labels on the experience. But when we're grateful for it and we just honor it and let it feel as we feel, it's such a beautiful thing. So another point I wanted to go into here on triggers is that we have a choice when a trigger comes up. Which I say we are all children of God. And we have a choice whether we want to be childlike or childish. And that's a big thing right there. So when sitting in the meditation and feeling the emotion, that's being childlike, because you're being open-minded, you're being open-hearted, and you're being willing to learn and to let go and to surrender and to experience and to feel and to truly accept and to give gratitude and, you know, to allow the releasing and clearing to happen so that you grow from the experience. That's a way to look at it in a state of awe. Children, you know, being forgiving, being ready to expand, being willing to learn and being willing to feel is, you know, a true child really, childlikeness is really like not, you know, forcing or reacting about what's happened. So a childish way would be like, I don't like this. I don't like the way this makes me feel. This has happened to me so many times. It's just not fair. It's just not right. But I'm a loving person. I don't deserve this. Da, da, da. And then we build this story and we're like, no, I don't want to forgive. I don't want to love. I don't want to feel this feeling. I want to run away. It's nasty. And you see that right there? That's not being open. That's not being forgiving. That's not being open-hearted. That's not being ready to actually feel the trigger. That's actually triggering the trigger. So you have a choice. You can choose to be childlike or childish in every experience. We can choose to react or accept. We can choose to throw a fit, or we can choose to feel the emotion instead and address it and go to the root of it. And in true spiritual maturity, be ready to clear it. That is such a beautiful thing. So I tried this, I've had this meditation going where I see the children of God in everyone. So when someone's angry, you just see a kid, I'm not happy. And you can love so much easier. She's like, oh, because like when a kid's like, I don't like it, you're like, I'm sorry, sweetie, that you don't like that. But we're going to have to move forward from here. We're going to have to accept that. I'm sorry that happened to you. And it's like, that's okay. Do you want to go make cookies? Yeah! And then it's gone. It's left. It's done. You know what I mean? And so when they're open and ready, and then kids can go either way. They can throw a fit about it. Be like, I don't want to say sorry to my brother. I don't want to say sorry to what I did. I didn't like it. That's or whatever it be. But when we are open, and children are ready to forgive, it's let go of. We're moving on. We're moving on to cookies. We're moving on to dinner. We're moving on to whatever we're moving on, and we're not dragging it on. But sometimes when we're reacting, what we're doing is we're triggering the trigger and we're dragging it on and we're dragging it on. So when we can really take out the space and time and sit with it in a meditation, and approach it in childlikeness and openness, open-mindedness, open-heartedness, and ready for forgiveness, and ready for releasing, and ready for actually truly experiencing the feeling, then we honor our experiences, which easily helps them transform. In gratitude and honor, easily helps them transform and be cleared. And that is a way that we can approach our triggers. We can approach them with a choice. We can choose to be childish in our choice, or we can choose to be childlike and allow them to clear. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for being here. Many blessings, love, and light. And if you like this video, please feel free, if you feel inspired to, you can subscribe, hit the bell button, And also hit maybe a like and share a little comment of your own experiences or triggers. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Many, many blessings.